Here we go. So we're recording now. So here's our first book. We're going to read Restart by Gordon Korman. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. I remember falling. At least I think I do. Or maybe that's just because I know I fell. The grass is far away until it isn't anymore. Somebody screams, "Wait, me." I brace for impact, but it never comes. Instead, everything just stops. The sun goes out, the world around me disappears. I'm being shut down like a machine. Does this mean I'm dead? Blank. The light is harsh, fluorescent, painful. I squeeze my eyes shut, but I can't keep it out. It's an explosion. Voices are babbling all around me. You can't mistake the excitement. "He's awake!" Get the doctor. They said that he'd never. "Oh, Chase, doctor!" I try to make out who's there, but the light is killing me. I thrash around, blinking wildly. Everything hurts, especially my neck and left shoulder. Blurry images come into focus. People standing and sitting in chairs. I'm lying down, a sheet over me, white, which makes the brightness even worse. I raise my hands to cover my face, and suddenly I'm tangled in wires and tubing. A clip on my finger is tethered to a beeping machine next to my bed. An IV bag hangs from a pole above it. Thank God! The lady beside me is choked with emotion. I can see her better now. Long brown hair, dark rimmed glasses. "When we found you lying there," who do you think that lady is?
Is it mom?
Probably his mom, huh? That's all she can manage before she breaks down crying. A much younger guy puts an arm around her. A white-coated doctor bursts into the room. "Welcome back, Chase," he exclaims, picking up a chart on a clipboard at the foot of my bed. "How do you feel?" How do I feel? Like I've been punched and kicked over every inch of my body, but that's not the worst part. How am I supposed to feel when nothing makes sense? Where am I? I demand. Why am I in a hospital? Who are these people? The lady with the glasses gasps. "Chase, honey," she says in a nervous voice. "It's me, Mom." Mom? Doesn't she think I know my own mother? "I've never seen you before in my life," I bluster. My mother is. That's when it happens. I reach back for an image of Mom and come up totally empty. Ditto Dad, or home, or friends, or school, or anything. It's the craziest feeling. I remember how to remember, but when I actually try to do it, I'm a blank. I'm like a computer with its hard drive wiped clean. You can reboot it and the operating system works fine, but when you look for a document or file to open, nothing's there. Not even my own name. Am I Chase? I ask. While my mother questions send murmurs of shock around my hospital bed, this one is greeted with silent resignation. My eyes fall on the chart in the doctor's hands. On the back of the clipboard is written Ambrose Chase. Who am I? "A mirror!" I exclaim. "Somebody give me a mirror." "Perhaps you're not ready for that," the doctor says in a soothing tone. The last thing I'm in the mood for is to be soothed. "A mirror!" I snap. A lady who calls herself Mom fumbles into her pocketbook and hands me a makeup compact. I open it up, blow away the loose powder, and stare at my reflection. A stranger stares back at me. Amnesia. That's what Dr. Cooperman says I have. Acute retrograde amnesia. The loss of all memory prior to a certain event. In this case, me taking a swan dive off the roof of our house. "I know what amnesia is," I tell him. "So how come I remember a random word like that, but I can't remember my own name or my own family or why I was climbing on the roof?" "That I can answer," supplies the younger guy, who turns out to be my older brother, Johnny, a college student home from the summer. "Your room has that dormer window. You just open it up and crawl out onto the eaves. You've been doing it as long as I can remember." "And did nobody warn me I might break my neck?" "Only since you were 6, my mother puts in. "I figured if you survived this long, it was time to stop worrying. You were such an athlete." Her voice trails off. Amnesia can be an unpredictable thing, the doctor informs us, especially with a traumatic injury like this one. We're just starting to understand which parts of the brain control which life functions. But for all we know, it has nothing to do with geography. Some patients lose long term memory, some lose short term memory, others lose the ability to transfer from short to long term. In your case, the damage seems totally confined to your sense of who you are and what's happened in your life up until this point. Lucky me, I say bitterly. Cooperman raises an eyebrow. Don't knock it. You remember more than you realize. You can walk, you can talk, and swallow and go to the bathroom. How'd you like to have to relearn everything, even how to put one foot in front of the other? The bathroom part is definitely an upgrade. They say I was in a coma for 4 days before I woke up. I can't say how the bathroom side of things was taken care of during that time, but I'm pretty sure I had nothing to do with it. Maybe I'm better not knowing. The doctor checks for a few readings on my monitor, making notes on my chart, and then regards me intently. Are you absolutely certain you can't remember anything at all from your life before you regained consciousness? Once again, I peer back into the nothingness. That's where my memory is supposed to be. It's like reaching into a pocket for something that should be there, but isn't. Only that something isn't keys or a phone, it's your whole life. It's bewildering and frustrating and terrifying at the same time. Try harder, I push myself. You didn't just whoosh into being when you came out of that coma. You're in there somewhere. A vague image starts to form, so I bear down, concentrating with all my might, trying to wrestle it into focus. What is it? Johnny asks breathlessly. At last, the details sharpen into view. I see a little girl, maybe 4 years old, wearing a blue dress with white lace. She seems to be standing in some kind of garden. At least she's surrounded by greenery. Well, there's this girl, I begin, struggling to keep the picture in my head. Girl? Cooperman turns to my mother. Does Chase have a girlfriend? I don't think so, Mom replies. It isn't like that, I insist. This is a little kid. Helen? My mother asks. The name means nothing to me. Who's Helen? Dad's kid, Johnny supplies, our half sister. Dad? Sister? I search for a connection between those words and the memories they should trigger. My mind is a black hole. There might be a lot in there, but I can't, it can't get out. Okay, so we're gonna stop right there. Thoughts so far? You can turn, let me pause the recording.